like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Randy just suggested we should have had a prayer
Science.
before we
Yeah,
started.
it's because the known abbreviation for lower decks is LDS, and that is also a religion. It's centered in this state that we live, which is Utah. That's
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints,
just shortened to
also known
Latter-day
as the
Saints.
Mormons. Yeah.
Mormons. I don't know why
Or the
that
Book of
became a
Mormon.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm not going to go into that in any farther. So hi guys, how's everybody?
Hi.
How are you,
Well,
Dave?
it wouldn't hurt to have a prayer because we recorded the first Boldly Go with both of us, and there was a bit of a glitch in the audio file.
Oh
And
no.
so about halfway through, it would kick you out. So I re-uploaded the MP3, so hopefully that fixes the problem.
Oh
What was
dear.
weird is after uploading the audio file, it didn't like allow me to save it. So I don't know if it just automatically did it. It's very odd.
Weird.
But it seems to be working, and also I noticed it recalibrated the number of downloads
Mm.
because it used to be, I think, somewhere in the 70s, which is insane to be in one day, to 15. So I think it restarted and it's now got the new audio file in there, and hopefully it's working.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see.
Yes. So yeah, as we threatened, Boldly goes back.
Yep.
With Dave graciously helping me out so that I don't have to talk to myself.
Yep.
Because it's hard to schedule people, especially the women I know. They're busy. They're super
Yeah,
busy.
which is good.
Getting like master's degrees and shit
Yep.
like that. So it's just it's hard to find consistent guests, and so this solved the problem. And besides that, you are you're the most
available.
You're available, and you're the least toxic man I've ever known.
So you keep saying.
Yeah, that's true. It is true.
Yeah, I've got
Otherwise,
more
we would
time
have
on my
gotten
hands
divorced.
now too. So yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's many reasons you have to divorce me. It would have happened by now.
Yeah, I've never had any reason to divorce you, dear.
All right.
Not a
I'd
single
divorce
reason.
me.
Yeah, that's not the point. It's not your choice, is it?
I'm like
It's
the
mine.
opposite
So
of Buffalo Bob from Silence of the Lambs.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill.
It is Buffalo Bill, isn't it?
Yeah. Been a long time since I've seen that. Like before I knew you,
Yep.
long time.
Puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again.
And no thanks.
Yeah, that was a bad impression.
No, I just meant no thanks to that story.
Yeah. And to think he's Monk's captain.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, the book was worse than the movie.
That makes
More
sense because the
graphic.
author is exploitative.
Yeah.
It takes serial killers to the extreme, which you get from the movie Hannibal. That's very much probably closest to the writing and how absurdist and disgusting. I imagine the television show, from what I've heard of Hannibal, is quite good. With Mads Mikkelsen as Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, he's a great actor, but I don't want the content. I don't care about that. I'm so tired of shows that are focusing on horrible people. Stop it.
Yeah, the people that celebrate mass murderers and serial killers as if somehow they're better when actually they're worse. Oh, I saw a video clip of one of the victim family statements to a murderer. I think it's the one that was in Oregon that I think killed some students. And it was all over, being a bad boyfriend, basically. And he killed her in her sleep, apparently. And she just called him out for what a coward. It's like, oh, yeah, you think you're so tough, but you had to kill her in her sleep because if you didn't, she would have kicked your ass.
Yeah.
Just calling him a coward, and that, people think that these killers are so powerful and cool, and there's something nifty about Jack the Ripper, and there's something broken about them. The lack of empathy,
Hmm.
the desire to kill, and really, what are they really doing that time cannot? Because I
Yeah.
can kill people too just by waiting long enough. The
Yep.
same thing happens. It's like, oh wow, you escalated something that happens to our poor fragile systems that will die anyway.
Yep.
Yeah,
And a lot of
fuckers.
them tend to have mommy issues.
Yeah, yeah, and head injuries. And
Hmm.
but there's people that suffer abuse and neglect that don't grow up to kill. So
Yes. So
yeah,
it's
so there's
again,
something
it's
broken about these particular individuals. They're
yeah,
weaker.
it's still a choice. It's still
Yeah.
a choice, and they chose poorly.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and
and
lead poisoning too apparently was a thing. That's why all the lead in the air from leaded gasoline.
mm,
We had all those serial killers.
mm.
These just kind of relate the two of those things.
Yeah, but then why wasn't I a serial killer? Why weren't you a serial
And
killer?
I think we just missed it because, it was like the generation just before us that had the Ted Bundys and whatnot,
Yeah,
and the
but
John Wayne Gacy's.
no, that's fair. But there was still leaded gasoline when we were
Yep.
kids.
Other leaded paint, leaded everything, leaded
Yeah.
toys, lead paint on toys.
Asbestos was still
Asbestos,
fine.
yeah, in my school,
Hmm.
they demolished and rebuilt because of the asbestos problem.
It's a miracle we're alive, frankly.
Yeah, yeah. Gen X kids. It's like
We're
we're built out of
we're
Lego.
we are we,
It's
but
just,
that
just
Lego has been
indestructible.
yeah, the Lego has been glued
Yeah.
together. That's how indestructible we are. We
No
just
knee
keep on ticking.
pads, no elbow
Nope.
pads, no
No
helmets,
helmets.
no parental supervision because both were working.
Hmm.
Latchkey kids, raised on television. Not even television of our own. We grew up on our parents' entertainment because they never made
Hmm.
anything for us except for cartoons to sell us cereal and toys.
Yep.
Yeah, Gen X. Until
Whoa.
MTV, and then finally there was something for us. But really MTV, because music television, they didn't have any American-made videos, so it was all second wave British invasion stuff. How Duran Duran and all these British new romantic bands got so popular because they wouldn't
Mm.
have probably broken through to the US without MTV.
Well,
So,
I never had MTV,
yeah.
so I missed all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have cable until I was like 19. And the only reason that my mom finally caved and got cable is because she wanted to watch basketball games that were not broadcast
Mm.
on network.
Oh, TBS, the Turner
Hmm.
Broadcasting System. That's usually
Yep.
what the Utah Jazz were on.
Yep. Yes,
Hmm.
indeedy. So,
So Lower
shall we
Decks.
talk? Shall we talk about lower decks after we went off on that massive tangent? That's
It's
fun.
Lower
It's fun.
Decks. Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind. Tangents are fun.
It's well, it's a half-hour program, but it's an hour program squeezed into a half-hour program because Lower Decks, it moves. But yes, yeah, anytime we get into a new series, we'd like to talk about it kind of as a whole, our
Yeah.
experience with it, yeah, what were our feelings about a new animated Star Trek series, especially by, the people who worked on Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but Mike McMahon had been doing this whole thing on Twitter with season 8 of TNG
Mm-hmm.
and creating some really amazing stories.
Yep.
And people just went nuts for them.
Yep, and then we got Tawny Newsome, so already a good sign. We know her from Spontanea Nation. I know her from Bajillion Dollar Properties. She had a brief podcast called Supergroup where her friend who's a musician and a comedian would create a song within a week
Mm.
and just create the lyrics, the style, the genre, just knock it out, and they'd have a song by the end of the week. So,
Yep.
yeah, Tawny's
And
awesome.
yep. And Eugene Cordero also.
Eugene
We knew
Cordero,
him from Spontanea
Spontanea
Nation
Nation. Was he
and The Good Place.
Pillboy from The Good Place?
Yes, he
Yeah,
was Pillboy from The Good Place.
yeah.
Hmm.
So we know him
And of
from
course
that.
Jack Quaid, and I
Yeah.
was very excited about that too because I love Jack Quaid. He's adorable.
Hmm.
And we really didn't know most of the other people. Well, like Fred Tatasciore, of course, I knew
Yeah,
because
it's
he's
voice
in
acting.
fucking
Yep.
everything. So
Yes.
yeah, but there's a lot of other people. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember the name of the lady who plays Tendi. That really
Right. And then
frustrates
there's
me.
Ransom.
Yeah, that's like
He was the fat kid, well, the heavy set kid from Stand By Me,
Mm-hmm.
and grew up to
Yeah,
be
Jerry
all
O'Connell.
handsome and married to Mystique.
Yeah, married to our lovely oh my
Una.
God, why am I blanking on all of the
I know what you need.
names?
I know what you yeah.
I can't
Uh,
remember her name.
no, she was married to Stamos for a while.
Oh God, yeah, and that
Rebecca Romaine.
thank God she yeah, there it is. Thank God she got out of that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's cute because of course she's first officer on Pike's Enterprise and Jerry is first officer on the Cerritos.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, solid cast. Really enjoy the animation.
mhm.
And yeah, it's Star Trek made by fans of Star Trek with the cast who are also like the crew themselves, like the characters are also fans of Star Trek. And
Yes.
so it's kind of funny. And some people might not like the self-referential comedy
Oh, I love it.
of Lower Decks, but I think that's part of the selling point is that the people populating the episodes are also fans of Star Trek, so and will reference things like the original series and Enterprise and Voyager and Next Generation
Yeah. To
and
be
Deep
fair,
Space
though,
Nine.
Jack didn't know that much about Star Trek at
Right. Oh,
first.
Tawny did.
Tony did, yeah.
Yeah.
And Noelle Wells, that is the
Right.
lovely lady who
Yep. Or
does the
Tendi.
voice of Tendi.
Yep.
And yeah. And Dawn Lewis, oh my God, Dawn Lewis, Blast from the
Hmm.
Past. She's fantastic. She's of course Captain Carol Freeman.
Yep.
And Gillian Vigman, oh my God. Best Cation ever.
Hmm. Yeah, the cat
She's
jokes.
just oh, so many great ones.
Yeah, they
So many
tread
great
a
ones.
thin line with the Cation jokes, but it works.
Hmm.
I mean, even in this episode, talking about her like reproductive hooks or whatever she called them,
Her coital hooks.
coital
Her
hooks,
hmm
which the male cat penis has spikes on it, but apparently the ladies have hooks that to catch the spikes, and so they stay joined through
Yeah.
mating.
Till the deed is done.
Yep. So we get a
Yeah.
little hint at her, you know, her infatuation, which develops in later episodes. So that's cool.
Yeah. And there's a rotating number of guest voices, of
Yep.
course, that have done a lot of voice work throughout the 5 years of the series. So, and I think a lot of people were against the idea of this in the first place, and so they determined that
Yeah.
they were not going to like it.
Well, animation was already kind of strike against it, even though the original series had its animated series too. But because I guess the cheapness of it, even though, it still had the same cast and still had the same writers, just because of the cheapness of the animation, I think. Some people were fans, some people weren't. But yeah, that it's a comedy and an animated series, I could see how that would rub some people the wrong way because Star Trek's not always the best when it comes to comedy, but that's because often you have people that don't really work in comedy trying to do comedy,
Mhm.
and that comes off as awkward when you have actual funny people involved. Even if
Yeah.
this team did Star Trek straight, it'd still be funny because you have funny people doing it.
Yep. Yeah, I was ready for it. I wasn't sure exactly what it was going to be like. And season one really starts off with hitting you hard in the face.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's not a complaint. That is not a complaint. But there are some people that are just like, no, this is not for me.
Yep.
And I thought, no, this is exactly for me. I am the target
Right.
audience here.
Yeah, because they speak very fast and very loud. And
Mhm.
that can annoy some people, as it feels like you're in a room full of children sometimes. And if you're
Yeah.
not in the mood for that sort of thing, I could see how it would annoy. But it's just the style. It's so packed with jokes, they just got to get through it all. And that's just part
Mhm.
of animation too, is speak fast and loud.
Yeah.
And you
But
get that,
it
in
works.
all kinds of animation. And yeah, it works for the series. And those old scientists, the Strange New Worlds uh,
Crossover. Yeah.
crossover with Lower Decks, that they even reference that these people, in the past speak slow and quiet, and how that weird that is.
So
when in
perfect.
their own, parallel dimension that they speak fast and loud. And it's interesting how this particular episode sort of bookends the first episode of the series,
Mm-hmm.
in that you have Mariner doing her Robin Hood shit. She's
Mm-hmm.
doing this second contact sort of thing, just handing out Starfleet supplies, Federation supplies to farmers, and here she's handing it out to children because this planet with all these colonists on it, they were worshiping a computer that had controlled them with an iron fist, and would have, what was it, Red Month, when they'd all kill each
Yeah.
other.
That's how
And yeah.
Landru kept the peace, and that's a TOS
Mm,
episode.
yeah. Oh,
And
every other episode of TOS, they'd run across some planet where it was ruled by a computer or something.
it happened
It's
way
kind
too
of a common
often.
thing. It happened once in the Twilight Zone. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's this computer that cracked down on all creativity and forbade the people to use their imagination and stuff. So you have Mariner handing out a bunch of school supplies, which is like, some of it was like a protractor and a compass and all those stuff that you get, in elementary school. Is like, how is that helping with creativity? Is that, oh, so you can plot the degrees of an arc? How's that going to assist your creativity? I guess. Okay, sure, fine.
Creativity isn't necessarily always artwork. It's not
Yeah, it's just
necessarily in that same package.
a lot of the stuff they were handing out was for STEM and not arts and humanities stuff. So yeah, that was my.
Yeah, but there were crayons and markers and
There were
pads of
crayons. Yeah,
paper and
yeah,
stuff like that because Boimler himself started handing out
yeah.
crayons. But
I
yeah,
wonder
that's the
how long we'd have to wait for it to be construction paper and rubber cement.
right. I don't
Eventually,
know.
get around through those.
Yeah. But the thing is that this was a second contact mission, which
Mhm.
is what Cerritos does. That is what they are built for. And it had been quite some time, like far too long before they had checked back on this planet. And it's like, you guys really fell for Landor's crap again? Seriously?
Well, is it Boimler that even brings that up? Is that the Federation is great for making contact, but maintaining it, they fall
Yeah.
short.
Well,
So it's like, oh,
that's what
yeah,
Freeman said.
yeah,
she was
that's right.
she
Freeman
was
says it.
she was complaining about it and saying, we need to be having second contact before these things happen so
Yep,
that we can head them off instead of leaving them alone for 100 odd years and then
yep,
coming back to find out Landru's at it again.
yep.
So
But yeah,
yeah.
during this handing out of supplies, Boimler is talking about how he found out that Mariner is Freeman's daughter. So, she's the captain's daughter, and if that gets out, that's going to be a problem because everybody's going to treat her differently because
Hmm.
you'll be treated like a Nepo baby, get all these
Yeah.
privileges and attention that she doesn't want because, she's the most undistinguished officer in the whole of Starfleet, basically. She's been like demoted and kept back so many times.
Through her own actions. She doesn't
Yeah.
want at this point, she doesn't want to be promoted. She wants to be a grunt
Yeah.
because she can get away with more.
Yeah, it's just weird because you'd think she'd wash out, that they just eventually get rid of her. But I guess because she's somehow Freeman's daughter, that they just keep her along. They never quite get to the point of just dismissing her, or court-martialing
Yeah.
her or something.
Well, that's because this is her last chance. That is
Yep.
made apparent in episode 1 of the
Right.
series. Is this is her last chance. She has been kicked off of so many ships, and if she gets kicked off from this one, she's out. She's done.
And that makes sense because Ransom is really keeping an eye on her
Hmm.
as if she's a special assignment, and that you kind of understand why now, with Freeman being the captain and her mother, that she'd
Yeah.
assign the first officer, special duty to look after Mariner and kind of keep her in check.
Yeah.
And so you have that kind of weird thing between those two. It's
Hmm.
like, are they into each other? Are they not into each other? Which is a great moment in this when they talk about how hard he is on them. It's like, I'm not hard. Wait, I can, I'm not hard right now. I can get hard. No, it's just,
And
and you
he's
notice
holding a
that he
pad
held
and
the pad over his penis.
yes.
Oh, this is wild. I'm not hard. I could get hard. Oh, no. This
Well,
is delightful.
there is that episode. I want to say it's the second episode of season one, but I can't remember. It might be the third, but I think it's the second, where they go do second contact and they're supposed to take this crystal to these people,
Yeah,
and they grab the wrong box and it's got wood in it, and that enrages them because that's their enemy's element. And
right.
then they throw them all in jail. One guy gets hit with a spear. And
Yeah.
he, he's like, she's pulling it out. She's like, no one is going to die from a spear wound. This is the whatever century. This is Starfleet. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
But they have to do trial by battle, and
Hmm.
so Mariner's going to do it, but Ransom's like, no, I'm going to do it, and he wounds her. He stabs her in the foot so
Yeah.
that she can't fight, and then he goes out there and he does his thing, his very Kirk fighting style.
Well, yeah, he rips off his shirt, I think, or it gets
Oh
torn
yeah,
open. You get to see how ripped he is because, he works out all the time, which gets addressed in this episode as well. That he
yeah.
has to work out to think. And also it gets all oiled up.
Yeah. But the thing is that at one point he's like, he defeats the guy and he's like, this is not what we're trying to do. We are Starfleet. We're here to help you with this. And Mariner's sitting in the cell and goes, so ethical. Wait, what?
Yep. It's like what was that feeling? And yeah, we find out that, across the series that Mariner is pansexual.
Hmm.
So, it's very forward thinking when it comes to any kind of romance, including with
Yep.
Jen, who gets referenced in this too.
Yeah. Early
Yep.
Jin reference before there's well, no, that's not really that early.
Yeah, because it was improvised in the first
Yeah.
place. Because, yeah, they were running the scene where uh, Mariner has to run through the hall and, Tawny just on the side goes, "Get out of my way, Jennifer."
No, she does move, Jennifer,
Yeah, move, Jennifer. So they've added the character Jennifer,
who's an
Jen
Andorian.
and Dorian to the series and developed that into a romance later. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
fun.
funny how even just improvised lines will work its way into being some permanent item of the story. So,
Well, and that's the thing is that when you have strong improvisers, which
hmm
both Jack and Tawny and Eugene
hmm
are, all three of them are, but especially Jack and Tawny, you get those little jewels that you wouldn't have got elsewhere, because that was one of Mike McMahon's strengths. It's
Yep.
like, okay, yeah, go ahead and do it like this. Now try something else.
Yep.
Do something else that you want to do and see how it works. And sometimes that would be the better thing. And that would be what ends up in the episode instead of what was originally scripted.
Yeah, it's similar to what they do with Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool movies.
Oh, yeah.
Is just run through a series of riffs and
Hmm.
they'll just pick the one they want.
Yep.
And so it's like this reference, this joke, that joke. It's like, okay, which one plays best in this scene? And take that one.
Yep. So, uh, phew, yeah.
So yeah,
So
they're in the middle of
Mariner's,
talking, yeah, about Mariner being Freeman's daughter.
yeah. And now Jack is trying to suck up too. And everybody is coming to her and wanting her to
Hmm.
do something, pass it
Yeah.
on to her mom.
Yeah.
Hand pies.
Phillips with the hand pies because he
Phyllis with
comes from
hand
some kind of
pies.
weird like fantasy type
Yeah.
community with like dragons and their ship has live torches on them, it seems. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's while they were handing out
It's
the
like Ren Fair became a
right.
society.
Yeah, it is very much so. Which is really creepy is that Paul Shear's actual wife, June
Plays his
Diane
mom.
Raphael,
Hmm.
uh plays his mom, which is,
Hmm.
odd because, those two are married, but they're playing mother and son. It's very odd. But yeah,
Swirly voice acting.
during the supply handing out things, they're trying to contact the two of them to get them back on the vessel, and they've taken off their jackets, which means the communicators are also off. But yeah, they overhear
Hmm.
Boimler talking about how how Mariner's Freeman's daughter, and it gets across the whole ship as
Yeah.
everybody finds out, and then they get beamed on board, and all the while, it's like Boimler's making kissy faces about, Mariner's relationship with the captain, and it gets
Well,
spotted by the whole bridge crew doing it.
yeah, it's funny because Mariner doesn't know that Boimler's comm badge is on, and neither does
Right.
Boimler. And she keeps saying, even though she doesn't have, basically she thinks he's the only one that knows, and she's just like, "Shut up! I
Hmm.
mean it. Stop talking about this. Stop
Yep.
it. Shut up." And yeah, so she was, even not knowing that she was being monitored, she was freaking out with just Boimler knowing,
Hmm.
because she knew exactly what was going to happen, and that is what did happen. People were just
Yeah.
trying to, like, even Shax shows up with a batleth wrapped in
Yeah,
paper.
wrapped Batleth. It's like I've got a present for her. It's like you see, it's clearly Batleth wrapped up in some kind of birthday wrapping paper.
It's so funny.
And there's
Yeah.
some an opening on the Titan.
No, the Sacramento.
Which Sacramento? Oh yeah, the Sacramento, because it's another California class. It's like the
Hmm.
flagship of the California class. So
Yeah.
yeah, oh, God, I love the California class, but we can talk about that later. Um, yeah, that there's an opening that, Mariner now has, everybody's in her face all the time and she hates it. So she's going to go in for this position on the sack. And so she starts straightening up her act and fixes her hair and rolls down her sleeves and starts calling everybody sir. Because Boimler
Yeah.
technically outranks her. So she's calling him sir and bothering him with it because it's unlike her to, be subordinate. So,
Yeah, and she's doing that at knowing that she wouldn't have even known about this promotion had Boimler not wanted it.
yep.
And so she found out that that was a thing, and she just decided, no, I can get off the ship. I can get away from people knowing that this is my mom and coming to me for favors all the time, and I can just have some peace. And that is pretty serious early Mariner crap.
Yeah.
Just, but honestly, Boimler gets his revenge at the end. Not that he was trying to get revenge, but
Yeah, it's interesting how when she goes in for it, it becomes a big deal because Boimler realizes she could actually land it.
mhm.
Because,
And he,
Boimler just has horrible, horrible luck. And so everything he puts in for, he rarely gets,
yeah,
even though he's very promotion, you prom
promotable,
yeah, promotable.
so
Yeah, I guess
promotable.
that's yeah,
Yeah, but the thing is that Boimler didn't want Mariner to go, not because he wanted the position on the Sacramento, but because he didn't want her to leave because
Mhm.
they've become good friends.
But if he leaves, that's fine. It's a weird double
Well,
standard there.
that's the thing. He probably wouldn't have left, unless, I mean, honestly, if it were another Cali class, he probably wouldn't have left. If it was something a step up from that,
Yeah.
yeah, he wants to be a captain someday. So of course, that is going to be his next step, is to just work his way up the ranks.
And it's odd when he's on the Sacramento how respected he is.
No, that's the Titan.
Oh, the Titan. Okay. So he did end
Yeah.
up on the Titan.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that in this
Okay.
episode, he was going
Right.
for a promotion on the
Right.
Sacramento.
So that's my
That's,
confusion is
yeah,
because he ends up on a different ship entirely and he was
yeah,
going for the sack and ended up on the Titan, which is
yeah.
why I got confused.
Well, he
Right.
didn't ask, he wasn't going for getting on the Titan. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was Riker that gave him the offer.
Right.
And of course he was going to take it. It's the Titan. It's
Yep.
Riker. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
You can see
Mariner
how that
should
could
have.
be confusing because, before he's trying to get on one ship and then he ends up on another. It's like if you hadn't seen the episode for a little while.
Well, we saw
Yeah.
it yesterday.
Well, yeah, still, it's the weird grammar of it all.
Yeah.
It's sort of
In any
like try to
case,
get on one ship and end up on another. Is yeah,
yeah, I wasn't confused, but that's okay. That's because I write
yeah,
things down, I think. But
right.
yeah,
I knew it was
so
the Titan and I knew it was the sack too because they referenced the sack.
yeah, but the Titan is gonna happen later. what we have a
We have so many storylines in this. It's so
just
packed.
give me a second. I'm reading my
I,
notes.
I know.
Thanks. Just go ahead and steal my thunder, why don't you? So
Well,
we
I don't
have
know what you're going to talk about next.
I
It's one of the
know.
many
If you
things.
if you'd shut up, I would
Well, I'm
talk
waiting.
about
Okay,
it.
bring it. What's next? Come
We get
on.
a Gamester of Triskelion reference.
Okay, what's that?
It's an original series
All right.
episode, and it's anyway. I'm not going to explain it now,
Oh, why not?
but what?
Oh, well, it's just I was wondering why not explain it. Now, is it too involved?
No, it's an hour long, well, 48-minute long episode, and we
Okay.
don't have time to talk about that
Ah,
episode. We're talking about this episode.
okay.
But
We'll get around to
I
it
just
eventually.
loved I just loved that there was a reference to the Gamester of Triskelion.
Right.
And let's get into the real meat of this. So earlier in the season, there was an episode where Mariner was, well, another captain came in because the bridge crew had to go off on a secret mission and for this plant to make sure
Sounds
this
familiar.
plant was yeah. And this captain was someone that Mariner knew. They went to Starfleet Academy together, and she's a captain now, and she expected that Mariner would be a captain now, and she thinks that Mariner is still the same person that she was in Starfleet Academy, and she's not. She's and we find out why way down the line in season 5. But uh this captain is basically takes her on a mission, and there's this ship that it's, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. Her name is Barb something. I can't remember her name. I thought I
Right.
wrote it down. But that ship, her ship had gotten destroyed by this alien that basically had used it to be born.
Okay.
And then we see her again in this episode. She's got a new ship, the USS Solvang,
Yep.
and they're hanging out in the Cala system. And all of a sudden, an unidentified ship just warps in and starts tearing them to shit.
Which the irony, dramatic irony of it is that talking about how great this new ship is and how there's film over like the keypad still, the
Yep.
carpets are new. The crew members have to take off their shoes when coming onto the bridge. It's
So I
like,
got that
God,
new ship smell.
yeah, new house, new ship, and how, how particular she is about everything. She's like fiddling with the film over her little captain's desk keypad thing because it's coming
Yep.
loose. And then they get ripped to shit.
Yeah, well, the mistake that the captain makes is there are these clamps that have hooked onto the
Mhm.
ship,
Grapplers.
and she's like, go to warp, go to warp, and they basically explode
Mhm.
as they start going to warp and
Yep.
just become a trail of debris, and it's
Yeah, all crew gone.
devastating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely devastating. And of course, now we know what that ship is, but at the
Yep.
time that we first saw this, we're like, what the hell ship is that? Who the hell is this?
Yeah, because they're a hodgepodge of different technologies and they just look odd.
Hmm.
They look like somebody broke a transformer and then rebuilt it.
Yeah.
It's like they took a Megatron, a Bumblebee, and an Optimus Prime and just mashed the pieces together.
Yeah. So now the Cerritos has been tasked with checking that out because they've lost contact with the ship,
Yep.
and they're making jokes about her last ship becoming an alien and all that stuff, and is just thinking, oh yeah, she's just saying that she, like, I can't even remember what the things that they say, but they're thinking that this is going to be a milk run.
Yep. Yeah,
And
they're the nearest people, and they're just gonna
yeah.
check it out, and yeah, they're
Yeah.
not
Well,
gonna.
actually, the Titan was in the area too,
Yeah,
but Carol said, "No, we'll check it out. This is
right.
we're close. It's a sister ship. We're gonna do this." And yeah. there are so many other things to talk about. God, this episode
it's
is
packed.
packed.
It's
It's packed.
packed.
So, what I'm going to switch to is the part that I dislike the most.
Ah, peanut hamper.
The first appearance of Peanut Hamper. I
I
know
don't
that
get the
so many
love.
people love her.
I
They can
don't
love
get
her
it.
all they want, but what I see is just someone who is completely apathetic towards everyone but herself.
Well, it's the same thing behind the love for Peter Venkman,
Oh God, yes,
for
no.
Ferris Bueller.
Mm-mm.
There's other characters that are just straight up high functioning sociopaths
Mm-hmm.
who would be terrible friends because
Mm-hmm.
they're horrible, selfish people. And
Yep.
Peanut Hamper is one of those.
Yep.
She's selfish to the bone.
Mm-hmm. Or to the circuit.
Yeah, or to the circuit in this case. But yeah, I don't, maybe it's a power fantasy or escapist fantasy, or, people might fantasize about living so free of consequence as Peanut
Mm-hmm.
Hamper seems to do, even though it does bite her in the ass, which we see in this episode
Mm.
or in the circuit. Um, yeah, I don't care for Peanut Hamper at all. And when
Mm-hmm.
there's other episodes to feature her later, I'm like, really? Guess there's such a love for the character that they bring her back and, repeat
No.
stories with her. And it's like, just, I don't care. I can't get behind this character because I don't need to follow somebody who would manipulate me or abandon me or anything like that.
Yeah. She has no, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh God, I hate when I do this.
Well, as Klingons would say,
Loyalty.
she
She
has,
has no
yeah,
loyalty.
I was going
She
to
has
say
no
she has no
loyalty.
honor, but loyalty works too. The fact
Yeah.
that she joined Starfleet just to anger her father.
Mm-hmm.
And, at first you're like, oh, this could be cute. Tindy's showing her around and
Mm-hmm.
going to the med bay and going to, I guess part of engineering or at least the shuttle bay. And she's trying to pick up
Yeah.
items and can't. And then showing up Tendy in the med bay by being able to perform operations with her laser.
Yeah.
And
But
which
Tindy
is,
doesn't
yeah.
think that that's a problem. She's just glad that Peanut Hamper seems to be assimilating into the crew very easily. And
It
so
seems
she
to,
feels like it's her
yeah.
greatest triumph.
It seems to be a kind of comedic thing they do with Tendy a lot is a reversal of expectation.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of surprise you. They set up going, oh yeah, this is going to be the standard thing where, this person overshadows her and she gets upset and it's like, no, they're going to flip that and she's actually excited and it's her greatest achievement to have, somebody she's mentoring be that talented.
Yeah.
So and they do that with Tendy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
And
thinks
so
she's going to think one thing and she thinks another. They've even followed that joke up with the poor Rutherford having the memory loss from his
from
accident
having
later
his
that yeah
implant ripped out, yeah, but
yeah
that was to
that
save his life.
he can't
So
remember Tendy and you think she's going to be upset and you see her eyes tearing up, but it's tearing up because they get to be best friends all over again. She
yeah,
gets to relive the experience of becoming friends.
it's so funny because she says, "You know what this means, right?" We
I think you cut out
best
again.
friends,
Best friends all over again. Yes.
best friends all over again. So yeah. Speaking of our lovely Rutherford, he is experimenting with new modes of behavior from his implant,
Yep. Yeah, he was
and
fiddling with it and it came off and it exposed a button that he's been pushing and is going through
mhm,
different modes, like emotional
yep.
modes, language modes.
I liked sexy mode. That one made me laugh.
Yep. Sexy mode was good.
And then
Aggressive
there
mode.
condescending mode, all of those things.
Yep.
And he's cycling through them now, trying to get back to normal
Yep.
mode. He's doing that for most of the episode. So yeah. Yeah, let's get to the really big meat of it, which is the Cerritos arriving at the coordinates where the Solvang was last reported
Mhm.
and come across this same ship. And this time the ship actually contacts them. She tries to contact the ship and they actually answer and they find out it's the Packlets.
Yep.
And I thought that was a stroke of genius, really.
Yeah, and the Packla is referring it to them as the Enterprise because all Federation vessels apparently are an
Or the
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Yeah,
They're just that dumb.
yeah,
Yeah. And so and Carol isn't taking it seriously, it's the Pakleds,
yeah,
but they have some massive weapons. They have weapons, I think, from over 30 different species.
yeah.
So there's no way to defend against all of that stuff. And of course, they've got those grapplers,
Yep.
those mean grapplers. And this is the part that hurts me so much is that they attach themselves to the port nacelle and just rip it off. And
Yep.
I'm like, oh, my baby.
And I think it's Ransom that suggests going to warp.
Yeah, and Freeman's like, no, Barb already tried that, and look what happened to her.
Yep.
We can't do that. And their shields are failing. The Pakleds are trying to carve up the ship. Meanwhile, they're they're they've got invaders warp or beaming in
Slowly,
and trying to fight them off. And what?
but slowly,
Slow,
very, very
very slowly,
slowly,
very
beaming on.
slowly, still beaming.
Yep.
And so they're basically repelling boarders, and Carol gets injured.
Yep.
And that's really messing up Mariner on top of
Yeah, that
that.
sets her off. Yeah, when you hurt her mom, yeah, then she
Yeah.
gets an attitude.
And
And that's when she like bumps into bits and parts of the ship and all this contraband weapons fall out
mhm.
of these panels.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
like a mace.
There's a lot of stuff that is actually seen in the first episode in that
Uh-huh.
closet
Yep.
of stuff where Boimler is hiding and doing his log.
Yeah, there's a fencing foil. There's just all these weapons.
Yeah. And yeah, Carol doesn't care. Just as long as they can have some way to defend themselves
Yep.
against the Pakleds. And she gets hurt again and has to go to sick bay. And meanwhile, Jack is just being Jack and just, busting up everything in his path. He
Yep.
is good as a
Mhm.
battering ram. He definitely has value.
And he does that thing where he announces his attacks. Double
Yes.
fist, punch.
Yeah. So yeah, things are not going well. They've repelled all the boarders, but now the Pakleds are just carving up the ship. Their
And
shields are
so,
gone, and they're
yeah,
just
they're in
carving up the ship.
med bay developing a plan, and it's to create a virus to install in the Pakled ship so they can escape. And that means we get to reintroduce Badgie. So Rutherford, gets Badgie out of the holodeck locker
Mm-hmm.
or garbage bin or whatever you want to call it, trash bin on the desktop. And
Yeah.
yeah, creates a virus that we can install and ship. And they make this plan of, they need somebody small and fast and technically savvy that can get over there and install this virus. And of course, it all seems to be pointing at Peanut Hamper being the one to do it. And of course, she says no.
Yeah. She's like, nah, I'm beaming myself out of this sitch.
Yep.
I hate people who say sitch. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But the one thing I forgot to say about Jack is when they were about to start repelling boarders, he said that his fists are set to stun and his kicks to
Or
kill.
to kill. Yeah.
uh, yeah. And well, and the thing is when Rutherford goes in there and asks Badgie to do this, he's like, oh, well, if you want that, you'll have to disable the safety protocols. And
Yep.
Rutherford does that. And that's exactly what Badgie wants. But what choice did he have? There
Yep.
was no other way to create a virus like this in the amount of time that they had. They needed a computer to do it, or in this case, a computer representation, which is Badgie.
Yeah. Malevolent artificial intelligence.
Yeah, and then because it has to be installed on the ship, they can't just send it with Peanut Hamper because she won't go. I love Shax's just taking charge. He just
Yep.
grabs Rutherford. They dumps him into a shuttle, gets in the shuttle, heads straight for the Pakled ship, rams it, puts a hole in it, puts Rutherford in front of this console so that he can start uploading the virus. And of course, Badgie is trying to keep him there so that he can kill his father.
Yep.
And basically Shax isn't going to have that, and so he rips off Rutherford's implant and throws him in the shuttle, pushes the shuttle out of the ship.
Yep.
And I really found it funny where Badgie's trying to get to that last 2%, and he's like,
oh yeah,
like
he's kind of
trying to have
squinting, like he's trying
like
to have a poo.
yeah, like he's constipated, and it's like, oh, that's better, and just
Yep.
boom, just
Yep. Ship
boom.
explodes.
And so we
With
think,
yeah.
yay! But wait, Shax is dead.
Yep. Yep.
What the
Shax is still on the
fuck?
ship when it explodes.
What the fuck? And he was fighting off Pakled still at the same
Yep.
time, but he was watching. You know, he threw Baby Bear in that shuttle. He made sure that he survived,
Yep.
and he went down with on. He went out the way Shax would want to go out. If
Well,
that's
even flying into the fray, he says it's his best day ever.
mm-hmm.
Best day of his life.
He does have a better day in the comics.
Yeah.
Shax's best day.
Yep.
But and so we think, yay, day is saved. Nope, more Pac-led ships show up.
Yep.
I was not expecting that, and I was very upset about it. And then, and of course they're all getting carved up again. It's basically Mariner and Boimler on the bridge, and that's it, because everybody else is either injured or trying to do something else. And what do you know? One of my
we hear a
favorite things
familiar
ever.
theme.
Yeah,
It's like the
just,
music
well,
hooks on. You're like, whoa, what is okay?
he's like, no, we've got another signal coming in. It's the Titan, and we're all like, fuck yes, give me Riker. And I love that they did that. I love that Jonathan Frakes did it. I love that Marina Sirtis did it. I love that they came in and did the voiceover work for this, because it is so satisfying
And they do bits the whole time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time. And it's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Obviously, you can tell by Jonathan Frakes' voice that he is having the time of his life.
Oh yeah. He gets to play
And
Riker dialed up to 11, so of course he's loving it.
Yes, and of course that Next Generation music going on as well. And basically, when he warps in, it's funny because the Pac-Leds again are going, oh no, another Enterprise.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do manage to fend off the Pac-Leds, and the Pac-Leds that are left run as they should, and now they have cleanup to do. And it's sometime later, like there's a time gap between that happening and the ending of the episode, because they had a nacelle that had come off, and so they had to go back to space dock and get fixed.
Yeah, you see it being repaired, and Freeman saying that she doesn't want any upgrades. She doesn't want anything cosmetics, just as close to the original ship as possible. Just make the Cerritos.
And rightly so.
Yep.
And we have some fun times. Apparently Riker and Freeman know each other very well. Guess they were in Starfleet Academy together. So and him saying that she was his chadich. And Jack trying to hook up with Betazoids through Deanna. Yeah, don't do that, dude.
Oh, that was so funny. It was like,
pegs him
they'll
so hard.
automatically sense that your pronounced masculinity is a shield for your insecurities. It's like, well, I can make that work for me.
Yeah. And Riker goes over to the table where our lower deckers always sit, and calls him Boomler.
Yep.
And basically tosses a pad at him, and is like, you did great work today, Boomler. And then next thing we see is Boimler on the Titan.
Yep.
In a new uniform, and Mariner calling him every other second and leaving him nasty, angry messages.
Oh yeah, because she's up late at night, because she's in the bunks in the
Mm-hmm.
lower decks and has the light from her pad as she's texting and sending him voicemails. And
Yep.
you've got Jennifer telling her to
Shut
shut
up.
up. It's like,
You
shut
shut
up,
up, Jennifer.
Jen.
Shut up, Jen.
Yep.
Yeah. This the interesting thing about Lower Decks is they do this thing that I really, really like by ending the episode with closure, but showing us the beginning of what's going to happen next
Yep.
season. They're very good at that, and I really appreciate that because
Right.
I think that's a great way to end a season and give hints to the next one instead of doing the season ending cliffhanger. Well, they have had some season ending cliffhangers, like when Freeman gets arrested for destroying
Right.
Pakled Planet. But at the same time, I didn't feel angry about that. I'm just like, oh, we're starting another story here. So that didn't bother me at all. But this episode is, I mean, it's a 30-minute episode, and we've been talking, well, not even 30 minutes, like maybe 24 minutes episode, and we've been talking about it far longer than that. That's
Yeah,
how
it's
packed this
stints.
is.
It's the first season finale. It's packed. It's setting up a lot of things to come. The Shax's death. We're gonna see how that plays out in following
Mm-hmm.
seasons. We got the separation of Boimler and Mariner. See how that plays out. We've got the burgeoning romance between Tendi and Rutherford.
Mm-hmm. Which
So
doesn't get resolved during the series. So
yeah, we know it's there. It just doesn't ever seem to go. It's like, are they friends? Or are they something more? It seems like something more, but they seem to be content with what they have.
yeah, it's something more, and I think in my heart of hearts, I think somewhere along the line they realize, oh no, this is what we want forever. We want to be together forever. So,
Yeah, it's like an ace arrow, asexual, aromantic partnership, like marriage.
mhm.
It's like the sexual and romantic aspects of it don't really seem to concern either one of them, but they're
They
happy
get
to be together.
Well, the thing is, they're attracted to each other. That
Oh
is
yeah, there's
made
definitely attraction.
abundantly
Yeah.
clear.
Because we've got
So,
the Hearth
Hearthrangi's
Fringies Heart
Heart
Place.
Place, yeah,
Yeah.
which I watched recently.
And
So
you see that they're kind of aware of one another in that respect. It's like, holy smokes, we're attracted to one another.
there's a lot of blushing, a
Yep.
lot of blushing. So yeah, this I one of my favorite things about the ending of this episode is uh they're basically Freeman is doing a little memorial for Shax, and she says, I know wherever he is, he's full throat screaming in someone's face and ejecting the warp core.
Yep.
Because all he wants to do is eject the
As
warp
ejector
core.
warp core. Yep. And something about returning to the prophets as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
returning to the prophets, of course. So, which if you read the comics, that you
Yep.
find out some things that they take that whole story, not Shax necessarily, but the whole prophets thing, they take that to a new place, which I didn't think that they could do more with that, but they do. And I will tell you about it when we're not recording, because if people haven't read that
Right.
storyline yet, I don't want to spoil it.
We see something else about Freeman's trophy wall, and it's an interesting point about captains in their little trophies. But in this, it she has that little wooden case with the
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 earring.
earring that
Yeah.
Shax had been wearing, and she puts it on her shelving where all the
Mm-hmm.
trophies are. So it makes you wonder how many others are those under her command that she's lost, and
Yeah.
how many does she keep there to have a reminder, of them, a memento.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that California class ships don't get into the life or death situations as much
Yeah, they're
as
not
other
really,
ships in the fleet.
yeah, designed for that. They're second contact, just kind of milk run sort of ships, even though I love the California class design.
Oh, I
They're so
love it too.
sturdy.
Yeah.
They've got the
You feel,
solidly attached nacelles, and the nacelles
yes.
are attached to one another in two separate places. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
really good constructed ship.
Yeah, I agree completely. I wonder if that because I you can't really get a feel for where engineering is in the ship.
Yeah.
Is it that little area between the two nacelles?
I
I
would think
kind of
so
feel
because
like it
that
is.
seems to be kind of an engine-like quality to it that might be
Yeah.
where the though I think the warp core is kept on the top of the saucer because I think they've ejected it before and it was from the
Yeah.
saucer area.
Not the case actually. What I need to do is go back and rewatch season 4 finale. Is it 4 or is it 3? Whichever one it is where they face down basically Badgie in ship form
Right.
because Admiral Buenamigo has hit a wall and can't stand out now, so he's got to do something drastic. And I'm like, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously? You shouldn't even be an admiral if that
Yeah.
is the way you feel about your job.
Yeah. The Starfleet thing is not a place to have to stand out. It should be one of those scenarios like in some countries where they have the tall poppy syndrome is if your
Mm-hmm.
head is above everybody else, they'll chop it off.
Yep.
You don't want to stand out from the crowd. You want to be in there along with everybody else. I think a lot of Scandinavia is that way. There's nobody really standing out from the crowd. It's all very community minded.
Yes.
Nobody's gonna make waves or rock the boat. It's like, yeah, we're all pulling the same weight here.
Yeah, and now I'm looking, okay, I'm in my brain because this is such a moment for Shax to be able to detonate there to eject the warp core. And it's Boimler who makes that possible. Because everybody's saying, oh, they're shouting out different things and saying, oh, we should do this. And of course, Shax's first thing is eject the warp core. And they just skip over it. And then Boimler basically gets a little belligerent just to get everyone's
Yep.
attention and say, listen to Shax.
Uh-huh.
And then he's doing this run down to engineering and there are people lining the halls clapping for him. It's just, but when he gets there and when he and Billups turn the keys, the warp core drops. It doesn't go
Right.
up, it goes down out of the ship. But
Uh-huh.
I
So yeah,
really
maybe it
want
is
to,
at the bottom of the ship.
yeah, I really think
Ah.
that that's where engineering is, but
All
I
right.
want to go back and check that part of the episode and see what I notice, if I
Yep.
can really tell
Because I'm probably just
from
confusing it
that.
with other times when I've seen the warp core be ejected that it's been through the saucer. It's like, no, this is probably from engineering in the base of the ship. So,
Yeah, most of the time when
hmm.
I've seen warp cores ejected, actually, I can't think of a single time I've seen a warp ejected upward.
Hmm.
It's always been downward,
Yeah,
relevant to the ship, because
right.
in space there's no up or down. It's all just
Yeah, because
space.
it's not like gravity's doing anything.
Hmm. So yeah, excellent episode of Lower Decks. One of the best. I would
Yeah.
argue even one of the best in Star Trek overall.
Yeah, the peanut hamper thing is a bit of a hiccup, but it's also there's people that love the character. So, what are
Yeah,
you gonna do? That
she's
appeals
not
to
in it
some people,
enough.
so
Yeah, she's not in it enough to make me angry.
yeah.
That comes in the second episode. And
Yeah,
the
it's just a long setup for the gag of just refusing the call to adventure. It's like,
yeah.
oh, here's this perfect opportunity for this newly introduced character to do this self-sacrificial thing to save everybody. And she's like, no, I'm out of here.
Mhm.
Good luck with your guts and everything.
Yeah. So, yeah. And anybody who loves peanut hamper, good for you, but it's never going to happen for me.
Yeah.
It's just not, I can't stand people who are constantly only thinking of themselves. And yeah,
Yeah,
she's
we've seen
awful.
enough of that in real life lately
Hmm.
to have that in
That's
our
another
fiction.
thing. I don't need to see this in Star Trek. I don't want to
Yeah.
see this in Star Trek. And it kind of bothers me a little bit that she is so popular. Because I'm just like, she's a terrible person. She's a sociopath at best.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
Um,
there's always the hope there's going to be some kind of redemptive arc with her, but every time they try that, it seems to be undermined somewhat.
well, they actually do it with the third episode with
Right.
her getting paroled, and she's made friends with Agamus.
Yes.
And yeah, she actually ends up just going home.
Hmm.
And uh Agamus thinks that she's been kidnapped or something, and so when he finally finds her, he ends up staying with her.
Yep.
So, or he wants to stay with her, but they have to take him back because he broke out, whereas Peanut
Right.
Hamper was paroled. And so, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna be the best computer ever. Get back to Peanut Hamper." And because I guess that this is the machine version of Rutherford and Tendy. I mean,
Mm.
they're just
It's like
best
the
friends now.
machine version of Natural Born Killers almost.
Mm, yeah,
It's not that bad.
yeah.
It just
But
seems like
anyway,
at first a toxic relationship, and then you realize, no, they seem to genuinely like one another. So,
hmm,
maybe there's something there. But yeah,
yeah,
that the fact that Peanut Hamper just, beams herself out of the Cerritos and into the void of space alone.
yeah. She didn't think that through.
Yeah, but then we catch up to her later, so yeah, it's not like a permanent situation for her.
Yeah. So that was a lot.
Yeah, it's a dense episode. We are saying this is
Hmm.
packed.
It is a very packed episode. But now that we have finished that, oh my gosh, it's time to do the
Oh, the
very
thingy
exciting
thing.
thing. Is find out what episode we are covering
The thingy
next.
thing and not the clobbering time thing either.
Not the clobbering time
Or
thing.
the disembodied hand thing.
Yeah, that not that either.
Or the Norwegian dogs that have tentacles splitting from
Uh-huh.
them thing.
Okay. Okay. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 944.
Oh no,
Oh, no,
47
that's
now.
47. Stop, 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 stop,
We've got
stop.
Strange New Worlds episodes now.
Yeah, shit. I forgot all about it.
Or will we have 48 by the time we record next time?
Yeah. Okay, so let's say 48. Well, maybe I'll get Alexa to do it. Alexa, give me a random number between 1 and 948.
Between 1 and 948 is 673.
673.
673. That's kind of borderline.
Six
That could
and
be late
Remember, I just
era
did you
old
want to start a
Trekker,
number echo chamber?
no.
early era new
All right,
Trek.
no problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. Tell me, I, I,
673? Was that it?
was it that? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was 673.
Okay, because I usually write that down, but then she just kept talking and
Yeah.
I lost what I was doing. Okay, 673.
We'll just say it's 673.
Oh boy, it's Enterprise.
Ah.
Season 2, episode 19, Judgment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A tarot card.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember which one that is, but I can't remember. Sometimes I can remember what it was from the title, and a lot of times I don't. Like if you had told me the Cogenitor, I would have known exactly what episode it is. But Judgment, it could
Right.
go a couple of ways.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be something to involve a trial, maybe, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, I'm just gonna look it up real quick
All right.
because that
We'll
way,
give the premise, the plot synopsis.
yeah. Give me a second here. Star Trek Enterprise. Oh shit. Come on. Stop doing that. Sometimes I really hate touchscreens.
Yes.
They can be little fuckers.
Yes. Especially if you
Okay.
got like a little bit of moisture on your finger or something, or powder,
Yeah.
something to
I
break the interface.
I wonder if this is the one I think it is. Let's see. Where are you? There it is. Oh, it is the one I thought it is.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting. Okay, this is the synopsis. After Enterprise lends aid to a group of accused rebels, Captain Archer faces a tribunal and charges of conspiring against the Klingon Empire. And if I
Ah,
remember correctly, this is J.G. Hertzler in the Klingon makeup. Let me just swipe over and see here. Yep, sure is. So yeah, that's an interesting episode. So yeah, that's the one we'll be covering
all right.
next time, and that will be next week.
Yeah. Yeah, next week because we're going weekly now. So very next
Mm-hmm.
Saturday will be us talking about Enterprise yet again. And it's
Yarp.
kind of odd how when they kept doing like prequel series that we kept meeting the Klingons earlier and earlier. Like Wasn't that a TOS thing and now it happened before TOS?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing is that they took the whole augment thing and used that as a reason as to why we had smooth-headed Klingons for a while.
Right.
So, yeah. But
Yep.
anyway, so there you go, folks. That's what we're doing next time, and maybe I won't be so scatterbrained next time as well. We'll just go from there.
Well, it's kind of Lower Decks lends itself to being scatterbrained because it's such a scattershot program that it's hard to really talk about things linearly.
Yeah, it's all fine. So, Dave,
Yeah.
tell people where they can find you and whatever.
Okay. If you want to listen to what I listen to, you can find me under DJ Evil Dave on Bandcamp. I'm on Blue Sky as DJ Evil Dave. We're on YouTube as DJ Evil Dave with underscores if you want to listen to the podcast through there. I also have shared a few music video playlists there. Also, one that tries to include songs that share the title of the Star Trek episode that we review, if possible. There's some recommendations that I've been trying to make. We did just have the 24th of July here in Utah, and it's Pioneer Day. It's a sort of big thing with a certain crowd here in Utah about, Mormon settlers and the like coming here and settling.
It's
And so,
basically
yeah,
about
it's colonialist
it's a
in
bunch
a
of
way.
polygamists. It's a bunch of polygamists who have been kicked out of everywhere else, and they don't want to stop being polygamists because dirty old men. And they invade the territory and kill a bunch of natives and claim the land. That's
Yeah,
basically what we're
that's what the
celebrating.
24th is. But if you want kind of an antithesis to that, you have the Utah-based death rock band Tragic Black. You can imagine how like antithetical they are to what you'd expect Utah to be. They're very aggressive, even for a death rock band. So yeah, and pretty politically charged in, a leftist kind of fashion. So if you
Nice.
like your sort of gothic rock with a heavy dose of punk and a little electro in there, Tragic Black is for you. So you can check that out.
Fantastic. Yeah, so Boldly Goes a thing now again.
Yep.
We
Yeah, just released an
um,
episode, so hopefully I
yeah.
fixed the audio glitch and you'll be able to listen to the full episode without any problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're
So,
coming to hear from Boldigo because you liked our dynamic as a married couple in podcasting and you heard about this show from there, welcome, and I hope you enjoy.
and vice versa. If you haven't listened to Boldly Go and you like us, what we do here, go listen to Boldly Go.
Yeah, there's a slight difference. Brandy's more in the captain's chair, and I'm more like the number one officer. So
First officer, yeah.
yeah, first officer, yeah, it's more of that over on Boldly Go because it's really Brandy's show, and I'm kind of the permanent guest now.
No, you're not a guest. You're a permanent host, for hell's
Yeah,
sake, Dave.
yeah, it's just I think of it, it because we're going to review Strange New Worlds on both shows.
Mm-hmm.
That, just the dynamic of it, it seems like Boldigo was yours beforehand, and I'm just coming on to assist. And this
Yes.
is more of a co-enterprise, like a partnership.
Yeah.
So
This was the thing that we wanted to do because we wanted to keep talking about Star Trek, but we didn't want to edit.
yeah,
It's
and yeah, we
basically how
we
this
carried
show.
over the same kind of format of this show over to Boldigo, and that is a minimum edit. We'll just
Yep.
remove silence, truncate silence, so there's not long gaps when we're trying to think of words or looking something up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the dead air is
And
gone, and that can sometimes get, 5, 10, 15 minutes out of an episode of dead air
and
that, yeah.
noise reduction and things like that.
Yeah, I don't even do noise reduction because usually our
Cool.
compression mics do all right. So it's at that time that there was a motorcycle
Mm-hmm.
riding
Didn't show
by,
up on
didn't
it.
even hear it. Yeah, it didn't show up on audio. So I'm like, if that motorcycle didn't show up, then I'm not even going to bother with truncate or with noise reduction because there's no reason
Yeah.
to. And often noise reduction leaves kind of a false electronic sound to the voice a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because it does kind of filter it, and so you get, I think, a little bit of a dip in quality. So,
Dip
and
in
Brandy just
quality.
yawned. So, with all this
No.
technical talk, we should probably
No, it's
call
not
it
that. I'm a very tired taco.
that, and I
Because
make you yawn all the time because you're comfortable around me, and
yeah,
I know I kind of sometimes have a bit of a flat affect, so yeah, that can be
yeah,
rather soothing. I imagine people fall asleep to my voice on the show. Plug it in,
yeah.
go to bed.
Well, that's why I liked having you read to me when I had
Oh
insomnia.
yeah, read Sartre to you. That'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, I out like a light.
Talk about a flight being a fleeing from a flight. The self being a fleeing from a flight. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
But
stuff will put you to sleep.
yeah, this
Camus
is my
talking about
second
the
show.
rebel. Yeah,
It's my
that'll do
second
it.
show today. I don't have any more energy for shows.
Yeah, because you did Unready Room earlier, which you
Yeah.
can also promote
Yeah,
if people aren't
yeah.
aware.
Unready Room. So Dan, Gunther, and I, we have been doing this for a while now, but every time there's a new Star Trek episode, we talk about it a couple days after on a Saturday at noon Mountain Time. If you can't figure that out, then I don't know what to tell you as far as figuring out time zones.
Yeah, it was Greenwich
Uh,
-7.
yeah, most of the time, but
Yep.
there's this whole
Yeah,
daylight
it's
saving
daylight
time
saving.
overlap
Yeah.
thing because we're stupid. So yeah, and we have a lot of fun on that show. It's a live show, but you can watch the recording afterwards. It will be up on Dan's YouTube channel, which is Kurt Ratz Productions, which if you don't know, Kurt Ratz is Star Trek spelled backwards. So check those out when we're having new episodes of Star Trek or a new movie of Star Trek. I don't think we're gonna have a new movie in a very long time, if ever. So do that. And you can find me on Blue Sky at Brandywine, just BrandiWine. And yeah, I'm not much of a social media butterfly these days.
Yep.
So apologies if you send me something on Blue Sky and I don't get back to you for a minute. But usually my phone will let me know that I have that someone is
if
trying to
there's an
talk to me.
urgent, yeah, if somebody's been trying to contact you, yeah, they can
Yeah.
usually get through to you.
So thanks to everybody who's stuck with us for this episode, because we talked a lot about a 24-minute episode because there was just so much going on.
Yeah, they pack these episodes, so I think Lower Decks is going to be like this a lot. But then we also had the added bit of just random tangents to start and just the general Lower Decks thoughts. And yeah,
Yep.
so once we're just reviewing the episode and that's it, and yeah, it should be shorter.
It's all good.
Yep.
All right, kids. Well, we'll see you next week. Next week, yes, this is the time where we go weekly.
Weekly.
So we'll see you next
Hopefully
week
not
for a judgment.
WEAKLY, but WEEKLY.
Freaking homonyms, not homonyms, homophones.
Homophones. Homonyms are they spelled the same?
No, homonyms are two different words that mean the same thing.
Right.
And homophones are two words that are spelled differently but sound the same.
All right. Okay. So pair and couple would be homonyms? Okay.
Yeah.
And then two and two are homophones. All right.
Yeah. That's how it goes, I think. And then all right then. So we'll see you next week. And thank you so much. And live long and prosper.
I did the Vulcan gesture. Oh, I should have done this sarcastic one because Lower Decks.